Roku shares have definitely bottomed. If you put what I like to say, a happy face at the most recent lows, you can see this bottoming out pattern, accumulation phase, and then the rally higher, pull back potentially for a rally higher. But Roku was once $480 plus. And on the way down, Cathie Woods was buying and buying and buying. If we look at her current Roku bag, she holds 12 million shares. Current value is roughly $971 million, and that represents about 6.5% of her entire portfolio. Which means she owns roughly 10% of all outstanding Roku shares. Now, she first bought Roku in the fourth quarter of 2019. She's made 10 more transactions, buy side, and 4 total transactions in which she sold. But here's where I was saying that she kept just buying and buying and buying on the way down. So right now on paper, she is roughly 800, 900 million in the hole. But if you know anything about Cathie, she is a long-term investor. And this is why she loves Roku so much.
Yes, well, it is the TV operating system. So you'll remember in the day, cable dominated, right? But it was very much regional. Well, this is the TV operating system for the US. This is not regional. And many people get confused when they hear Roku. They think of hardware, which not very attractive business, tends to be commoditized. That's not what Roku is. Or they think of competition, Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu, so forth. And that's where the big error is. Roku is hosting all of them. It is the platform hosting them. And it is growing in market share yearly. The advertising environment has obfuscated what's going on here. Most of its revenue is advertising based, and advertising is in a recession. But if you take a look at what happens during recessions, the new way of doing things gains massive share. And we saw that last year. And even in the last quarter, I'll use the last quarter, those numbers are fresher in my mind. But Roku's revenue surprised on the upside, up 11% in a scatter market, which is its primary advertising market, sort of the spot market, that was down quite significantly in the teens, I think. And so it's taking massive share, and that gives us increased confidence. Nonetheless, because many, I'll say, old-time media analysts are very focused on the cable companies and the broadcasting companies and what they've grown up with, this is highly disruptive to them. And this is what I mean by truly disruptive innovation and the old guard. It's not just the old companies. It's, and I'm not calling the analysts old, but the analysts who grew up on these old companies and are used to those models and to that DNA are finding it difficult, especially given what they hear from those companies, finding it difficult to migrate to this new world. They're beginning to migrate because, again, truth wins out, and the share gains are, undeniable now.
So again, this is the monthly chart. Again, we can see this bottoming out pattern. We have the first impulse move higher. Price ran into resistance at $100. It's pulling back. Again, I think for a move higher going into 2024. Let's zoom down to the weekly chart. And this was that impulse move higher as price came back into a weekly buyer's level at $53. Now this is the pullback that we saw on the monthly chart, this red candle. Now $75 was once support, became resistance, should act as support once again. And you can kind of see that based on this week's green candle as price opened at 78 on Monday, went down to 76 to go up and close the week at 81.72. I'm looking for price to continue to move higher and eventually taking out this $100 resistance level. Next targets, it's going to be 140. But I do anticipate price running into a little bit of resistance and sellers at the 110 level. Let's zoom in on that level on the daily chart. Yeah, so not the best price structure wise, but you do have a drop in price, base in candles, drop, retest into that level, and then the drop down. So what I'm going to do is mark that as a daily zone, but I wouldn't call it a setup for a short. I like the resistance level at 100, in which we saw price pull back. I do anticipate a similar pullback if and when price gets to the 115 level. But first, price has to deal with the 110 level, as that remains resistance. However, I do anticipate moves higher going into 2024 and hopefully getting Cathie Wood back to break even on her Roku bag. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, please. Like the video.